Good afternoon and welcome to For the Record. I'm Paul Albee. My guest today is Sepy Bazzazi, a 24-year-old North Vancouver resident who has just been named to the final 50 in the Sheen social media intern competition. The worldwide competition to become Sheen's next intern saw over 75,000 applicants from over 181 different countries. I just want to start by saying congratulations, Mr. Bazzazi, for making it to the final 50. That is quite the accomplishment given the scale of the competition. Are you surprised at all to make it to the final 50?
Well, let me start by thanking you. I really appreciate it. I am, you know what? I am, and I'm not surprised. I mean, I do, work in social media for a living, so to that capacity, I'm not really that surprised. But at the same time, something like this is really huge, and I kind of almost feel like I'm on American Idol or something. It's really taking me by surprise, and so I am shocked, and I'm really humbled and respectful of it. So yeah.
Is it possible to put into words the sudden media frenzy around you since you got selected to the final 50?
I don't know. No, I can't. I really can't, because ever since I woke up this morning at about 7:15 in the morning, it's been nonstop tweets and emails and phone calls about this interview and that interview, and I don't even know how it happened or what I did or whatever. I don't even feel that worthy, but I'm really grateful of it. I think it's great, and it's been a really cool experience. But it really has been like just a whirlwind. Like I don't even know where the day has gone today.
What chance do you think you have at winning it all?
You know what? At this point, yeah, I do think I have a chance, but I feel like anybody has a chance, as good of a chance as the next person in the last 50, because we don't really know the criteria of what's expected of us at this point. There's nothing really that we can do. Everything's just kind of been handed on to Team Sheen and Charlie himself to look at and kind of make a call on. So at this point, yeah, I do feel like I have a chance, but I don't know how good that chance is.
Being positive here, why is it that you think you'll win, and why is it that you're the best fit for this job?
Well, I mean, I wake up and the first thing I think of is social media. It's what I do. It's what I love. It's what I live and breathe, and I'm good at it. Not to toot my own horn, but I know I'm good at it, and I like to have fun with it, and I get it. I'm part of the whole culture of it. I think I'd be a great fit for this job. I think it's a perfect fit for my lifestyle. I think it would be a lot of fun. It would be a great working experience, and I think most importantly, I really believe in Charlie Sheen and what he's doing.
What is it that makes you different from the opposition? What's the one thing you would say separates you from the rest?
I mean, the set of skills and tools that we all use will vary, but they'll all generally be the same. But I think the one thing that really sets me apart is the fact that I don't think Charlie Sheen's crazy. I don't think that he has a big PR issue that he needs to solve, and I certainly don't think that's why he's looking for an intern. I truly believe in Charlie Sheen. I think that he knows what he's doing. I think that he is kind of just a normal guy, and he's telling the truth. And just because of interesting past, that the media puts a fun twist on it and scrutinizes him a bit. But I think the big difference between me and everybody else is that I don't think I'm here to repair his career. I think I'm here to go with it and ride the wave with him.
As for who you're up against, have you seen any of your competition's entry packages? And if so, what did you think of those?
Yeah, I made the point of watching a whole bunch of them. I think they're all great. They all did a good job, especially at this point, narrowed down to the top 50. We're in a different league of competition here, and everyone's doing a great job. They all have good skills in technical stuff like video editing, as well as in their speaking and their tone of voice and their ability to make a video and engage a community. So they're all doing a good job. I'm trying not to focus too much on them, because at this point there's nothing we can do. There's no next step or anything released. So I'm just trying to stay positive and stay focused on myself rather than clouding my mind up with what everybody else has done.
Are these entry packages for this contest available online for the public to see at all?
Yes. You can see all of the video entries on YouTube. If you search Tigerblood Round 3, you'll pretty much get a list of everything.
So Going to the start of this whole competition, why is it that you decided to take a shot at this? And was it your idea, or did family and friends tell you to do this?
It was actually a friend of mine who posted this on my wall. It hadn't gotten a whole lot of traction, surprisingly. Like, I hadn't heard about it from anybody else. He just posted on my wall, and he said, make sure you give this a try. This is, like, perfect for you. So I went ahead and just entered into the first round, really not thinking too much of it. And now I am where I am.
When you first entered the contest, did you do so realistically thinking you had a shot, or were you just doing it for fun?
I didn't even understand what I was getting into, because they didn't really outline that it was going to be a first round and a second round and a third round, and like, there wasn't, all the criteria wasn't laid out. So when I was doing it, I was just like, oh, this is cool, let's give it a shot. It sounds like one of those things where you enter and you never make it, a contest that you never win or whatever. So I didn't really have any expectations of it, and I was kind of thrown back when I saw that I was invited to round 2, but even not that much, because I know that a lot of people were invited to round 2. And then when I got to round 3 is when it started getting a bit serious, and I started taking it a lot more seriously.
If possible, could you describe the entry process from the start up until now, just of your application round by round, right up till round 3?
Yeah, absolutely. Round 1 was basically you had to say in 75 characters or less why you think you have Tigerblood and why you should be eligible to be Charlie Sheen's Tigerblood intern. So you just kind of, it was, didn't take too much thought or too much preparation to do that. You just kind of set that off. A couple of weeks later, I heard about round 2. So round 2 was more like a resume. So you got this form to fill out online, asking you about your credentials, your work experience, which was relevant to the field of social media, as well as asking you about things like your personal Twitter account, your blog, your own social media channels, things like that. So I filled that out and sent that in, and then at that point, the invitation, about a couple weeks after that, the invitation to round 3 came in. Round 3 asked us to make a 2-minute video answering one of 3 social media questions. So we had 3 options, and we had to answer one of them in 2 minutes or under, and video submissions over 2 minutes would not be accepted. And they also wanted us to dress professionally and actually consider the question that we were answering and answer it, fairly professionally. So made that, submitted it, and then crossed my fingers, and then just on Monday got an invitation to round 4, which was super exciting.
As for round 1, you said you submitted something that had to be 75 characters or less.
Yeah.
Could you tell us what you submitted?
Yeah, it was nothing professional or anything like that. I totally tried to make it light and fun. I was reading a whole bunch of things that Charlie Sheen had said in his tweets and whatnot, and one of the things was, well, actually I won't even give it away. What I said was something to the effect of, I think I have Tigerblood. I think that Charlie Sheen invented social media in his sleep, and if you want to be winning, you need to learn from him, or something to that effect. And that got me through to the next one.
For round 3, for the 2-minute video you had to use, what was the question that you had to answer, or that you chose to answer?
The question I chose was if I had to advise a candidate running for public office on how to leverage social media in their campaign election, what would I tell them? And so it's a pretty good video. I'm not going to give it away. You should go watch it.
Just for the listeners, could you tell us where we could watch it? Is it just on YouTube, and what would we search to find it?
Yeah, if you go on YouTube, you can search Sepy Bazzazi Tigerblood. So it's Sepy, S-E-P-Y, B-A-Z-Z-A-Z-I, Tigerblood. And you'll find the video. And there's a blooper reel in there, too. It's pretty funny.
You're listening to Evolutions For The Record. I'm Paul Albee, and my guest today is Sepy Bazzazi, who's talking to us about making it to the final 50 in Charlie Sheen's intern competition. So, what does winning the contest and becoming Charlie Sheen's intern entail? What would you be doing if you did win?
There's no kind of outline of exactly what we'd be doing or looking after, but my best guess is I would be joining their PR group, Team Sheen as they call it, and helping them with Twitter and Facebook, and kind of monitoring conversations and dialogues going on around the world about Charlie Sheen, and engaging with certain fans, and kind of leveraging their power to keep Charlie kind of alive. So that I think that the goal of this is going to be to keep his image out there past this kind of this fad or this trend of Charlie Sheen that's out right now.
What are you hoping to get out of this whole experience? Like outside of obviously getting the job, what are you hoping to take away from this whole thing?
I mean, it would be amazing to work alongside an actor and their group and learn how things are done on such a huge scale. Like, how do you operate a giant 3 million follower Twitter account and million fan Facebook page and all those kind of things. I think it'll be a great learning experience for me. I think it'll open a lot of huge doors. I think it's just a one-of-a-kind opportunity, and I'm really excited to be a part of it. Plus, I actually really am a fan of Charlie Sheen and would love to be, in some capacity a part of what he does and the fun that he has. So, no, I'm all around. It would be a great experience.
Do you think Charlie Sheen will stay popular in the media for the next time being? Why or why not?
Well, if he hires me, he will. Yeah, I think he will. I think he's doing good things. I think there's the media likes to focus on him being crazy or wild or whatever, where I don't think they focus on all the important things, such as the fact that he donated $1 from every ticket sold to any of his shows to Japan, for example. And I mean, there's a lot of big things that he does that kind of fly under the radar, that are overshadowed by his kind of persona. And I think once the dust settles a little bit, he'll still remain popular because he is actually a cool guy and he's doing good things.
So just to talk about you a little bit, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your life story, and your future aspirations?
Sure. I'm 24. I'm turning 25 on Monday, April 18th. My Chinese zodiac is a tiger, so I do have tiger blood in me. I was born in Iran. I moved here when I was 2, and I've been a North Van boy almost ever since. And I graduated from BCIT just a few years ago doing the marketing program, where we learned a whole lot of online media and online marketing and that kind of thing, which kind of translated to my current job, which I've been at for about 2.5 years. I handle all the corporate social media for Earl's Restaurants at their head office, and I oversee and manage all about 50 locations, Facebook pages as well, as some of their Twitter accounts. So I work in the field in a professional capacity and in a recreational capacity. I just love social media. Like I said earlier, I wake up and the first thing I think about is what to update my Facebook status with and how people are going to react to it. And I've been in the social media game long before many people. Back 10 years ago when there was no Facebook, but there was still High Five and Friendster and Nextopia and MySpace and all that. I was a part of all of them, and I had my first website in grade 8, and that was fun. And it's just a total part of my life. So where I see myself in the future is definitely doing something along the same lines, whether it be for Charlie Sheen or not. I think the future holds for me a whole lot of online and technology and social media.
And just one last question for you. When is a winner going to be declared for the contest, and what comes next for you in terms of the contest?
What happened was that internships.com was handling this whole process. And then when it came to round 4, they said, congratulations, you've made it to the top 50. Now what we're going to do is hand off all of these 50 packages to Team Sheen and Charlie Sheen himself. So he's going to review them all with his team and pick an intern. Now, I don't know if that means that they're going to do another short list of 10 people and then do interviews, or if they're just going to look at the videos and just pick someone based on that. I don't know how it's going to work out, but generally over the past 6 weeks or whatever this contest has been going on, we've heard back every 2 weeks, and this most recent one was about 2.5 weeks. So, based on that, you can say I might hear back in a couple weeks, or because Team Sheen is actually handling it, they're going to investigate a little bit further. It could be a month or so, but the internship is this summer, so they can't be holding us off for too long.
Okay, well, thank you very much for the interview today, and the best of luck in the future. Hopefully you will be the winner.
Thank you very much, Paul.
You've been listening to For the Record on Evolution 107.9. My guest today has been Sepy Bazzazi.